couple more. There's the other one, and we're good to go. Coach, whenever you feel ready.
Yeah, the crowd was great. Appreciate the crowd coming out. We're going to need them. If we're going to do this and do it the hard way, we're going to need the fans and need the crowd, and everybody just, believe and stay positive, and that's what we're going to do. Tip of the cap to West Virginia. They, until the last inning there, their pitchers don't walk hitters, and their hitters don't strike out. They're tough out, and they found a way to put the bat on the ball. And obviously the 4 spot in the 9th inning, where a 2-out walk, and then a lot of consecutive hits in a row led to them blowing it open. But I was positive we were going to win that game once we tied it up, and then took the lead in the 7th. We were facing a really good starter and had our number his whole outing, and we just didn't give up and took the lead, but then it didn't work out for us. So told the team we're gonna have to do it the hard way. It's been done before. There's plenty of regionals that are gonna be won going through the losers bracket, but right now we just have our sights set on the noon game, and we'll have our hands full with Kentucky, and we know that. It doesn't matter if we're thin on pitching or got a lot of pitching or players are tired. It's just we're just going to have to go one at a time and fight our butts off to do this.
All right, we'll begin here in front row.
Will Vanderbilt, Clemson Insider. Eric, wanted to ask you your thought process there when you took Reed out there with the 2 outs.
Yeah, so Reed was supposed to just go 1 inning. He we were just going to have him go 1 inning, and so we extended him into a second. We did not want to have him sit down and go back out, but we did, and put him out there, and he was doing great. He was fine, and I think in a normal situation, not coming off an injury, sure, we'd probably let him finish the game. But he whether he faced the 9-hole or not, it was already a situation where he was a little bit overextended. I know he looked great, and just it didn't work out. So obviously, everyone will say you should have left him in, but it just didn't feel like it was a smart move. And but yeah, obviously, that's an easy one to point to and say should have left him in. If he had given up a hit, you should have took him out. So that's coaching. It's okay to question every call that works or doesn't work, but that one didn't work, and so I got to point the thumb on that one. And but we also have a guy that has been lights out all year, and got a lot of confidence in Lucas Malstad as well. And didn't work out tonight, and he's had a couple of tough outings in a row, but we don't lose confidence in our guys just because they have a couple of bad stretches. We still got to go to our horses, and we feel like having Garris back, and even if it was supposed to be in a short stint, and Lucas getting a 4-out save, that's something we felt very confident with.
All right, let's stay in the front row here.
Piggybacking off of that, was that when Malstad came in against the lefty? Is that the matchup you wanted there?
Well, it's just Reed. Is I thought that the 8-hole hitter was going to steal, and so it was just more. Lucas can hold runners. I also thought the 9-hole might bunt. I didn't want to risk, Reed trying to in that spot. So lefties have been doing damage against Malstad lately, and so he's made some adjustments. Changing his slot and going up, using the changeup more. It didn't work. So it's easy to say it's a bad decision because it didn't work. And that's just I gotta, as a coach and as coach is, that's just gotta live with it when it doesn't work. It didn't work, and we just try to put our guys in a spot to be successful, and it didn't work tonight. And just point the thumb and just try to keep preparing these guys and keep coaching them to put them in those spots to have success. But yeah, it didn't work tonight.
Okay, we're going to stay in the front here, and then we have a question in the back of the cameras as well. Start here.
Dawson Smith, Gameflow Media. Andrew, question for you. You being a leader on this team with a couple of other guys, what do the next few hours look like to turn the page to get everybody ready for the elimination game tomorrow?
I think think it just comes down to emptying the tanks. We know it's on the line here, but like Coach Bakich said, it's been done before, and just even after the first couple minutes after that game, no one's hanging their head. We're ready to go tomorrow. Selling out for game 1 against Kentucky, and we're just gonna keep playing this regional. Obviously, it's a harder route, but all confidence in the guys on this roster and the coaches on the staff to keep leading us, and everyone just playing to play with each other for a little longer.
All right, let's go to the back of the cameras.
Hey Coach, Carmine Jumay with Fox Carolina. What do you think is the biggest challenge to you guys getting the offense going early, and then what do you think you guys can do to correct that moving forward for a quicker offensive start?
It depends on who we're facing, and we happen to face a really good pitcher with a 2.9 ERA who doesn't walk people and had good stuff, and he just had our number. There's been multiple times where we have got out to an early start and scored early, but it hasn't. It seems like it hasn't happened these first couple games in this regional. And there's been times where that's the way it goes. Sometimes you gotta wait a guy out. And sometimes you gotta get in the pen. And offensively, we took the lead late, and of course we would have loved to score in every inning. That's just not reality. So for us, it's always about stringing quality at bats together and just trying to have a lineup that's a run scoring unit. And we're usually pretty good, at the approach with that. Now, a few too many strikeouts, and didn't play our very good offense in the first half of this game, but we have a lot of confidence in what we're doing out there. Just it didn't work today, and we've got good hitters, we've got good coaches, we've got a good team. It didn't work today.
All right, any other questions? We got time for 2 more, so we'll go to the cameras here and then to Phil Kornbluth to wrap things up.
Kevin Kinder with the Louisville News. Coach, both teams, relievers got touched up some, their closers and go-to guys. Is that more a testament of the hitters, the approach that they had? Obviously, they haven't been seen by either, the other batting orders before, or you think maybe they were just a little off tonight?
No, I don't know. They, in terms of West Virginia's relievers, number 99, he's got premium stuff. He pitches off the slider, and it's a good one, and then has a 97-mile-an-hour fastball too. So obviously we had a really good plan there in the 9th inning, and they were a strike away from going 1, 2, 3, and so to mount a 2-out rally was good, and then we just came up short. But I think in these types of games, these aren't professionals. They're still college kids that care a lot about the name on the front of the jersey, and they're doing their best on both sides. It's not like anyone was trying to screw up. Everybody's leaving it all out there. So it's not always gonna go your way. It's but it's I don't know what the reason was for West Virginia's guys to not have success at the end. It just, for us, it looked like they did a good job of touching it with 2 strikes, and got a couple infield singles and got some big doubles to take the lead when they needed to, and then obviously the hit by pitches. That was huge for them to get a couple of runs that way as well, but just the way it went tonight.
All right, let's wrap things up with Phil Kornbluth right here.
Yeah, Coach, who will you start tomorrow against Kentucky? And if you're gonna get to Monday, where are you gonna find the pitching to get to Monday and beyond?
Well, we are gonna start Talon Bell against Kentucky, and we just have to completely sell out and empty the tank to just get game 1, and then we'll worry about what game 2 after that and game 3 after that. But we're not even game planning for Monday. We're game planning to do whatever we have to do in the noon game, and guys are gonna have to pitch tired, and guys are gonna have to play plenty sore, and, you know, if we're gonna do it, we're definitely gonna do it uphill and the hard way, but, you know, maybe that's how our story is supposed to go.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.